Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Balti. It's been far too long. I've been getting a lot of comments lately on streams and in the comments section. People going, Spartan doesn't know how to play cruisers. Spartan can't play cruisers anymore. Spartan, why don't you play some cruisers? I'm like, well, first of all, my battleship videos get more views. Plain and simple, right? People want to see the big booms and the pals and me getting set on fire and getting upset and talking about all the things and stuff and dealing with all the destroyers. But the Balti is one of those standout ships that I think I play more aggressively than anybody else. Shocker, I know. And I always have a blast in this ship. Now, I've played this game, or this ship, twice tonight. Twice. I played the Hipper initially because I was like, maybe I'll get a match in the Hipper because everybody tells me that I don't know how to play the Hipper, and yet I still go out and I win in the Hipper. But the problem with the Hipper for me is it's fucking so goddamn meh. It's not a bad ship, but it's just not a Balti. When you have the Balti, everything else just kind of feels meh. Unless, of course, you're in the Mines, the Weimar, or the Cleveland, in which case those DPM monsters obviously do work. Now, Balti is still a beast. Don't get me wrong. Balti is the OG. She's been buffed over and over again because bad players don't know how to play. But we are going to showcase, once again, why the Balti is the king of the cruisers at Tier 7. Whoa, there's a bold claims, Cotton. How you gonna come up with that? Well, I mean, I just let the results speak for themselves. In the very first game that I played the Balti, I ended up with 135 or 137,000 damage. And lost. It's kind of a boring game, though. This one going to be a lot more exciting. So hopefully you guys are ready, because we about to have some fun. And Balti is going to do what Balti does best, which is murder everything. Does that mean that we're going to win the match? Nobody knows. You'll have to stick around and find out. By the way, we are on the path to 50,000 subscribers, so if you enjoy the content that I'm putting out on the daily, punch the like button. Help us get to that goal by the end of the year. And with all of that, let's get this party started. Now, obviously, we are radared right now. So we go ahead and we radar back, because I know what the black is doing. The black is radaring us and trying to radar the destroyer and get rid of the destroyer. Well, flip turn upside down, we're going to go Fresh Prince on this man. We're going to keep him spotted so that our team can focus him instead. Now, to the black's credit, he is going to escape. He's going to go full escape. And unfortunately, our skein goes down to the black, which is real unfortunate. Or he goes down to the Colorado, actually, but he lost a lot of his health to the black. Now, here we have an Atlantico. We're going to utilize island cover. I know, Spartan playing strategically. What is this? But, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. There are two battleships in this lobby, and both of them are off the bow of my ship. One of them overmatches, one of them does not. So we have to make sure that we put ourselves in a position that we can do the best that we can and keep ourselves in the match for as long as possible. Conserving our hit points at all cost, so that we can wreak as much havoc as possible. Now, this poor Atlantico damage cons a fire early, and that's not going to end well for him. When you're surrounded by a Balti, whatever the cruiser is on my left, spamming HE as well, then you've got an Edinburgh on the right that's setting up smoke screens. Now, obviously, our smoke firing penalty isn't good enough to like keep us from getting spotted here initially, but we're reversing. Now we're going to back around the corner with the load. Notice we loaded AP for a broadside Colorado here. Watch the damage that we get with AP. Right there you go. That's what, 4K? 4,000 damage at this range? Yeah. Don't sleep. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Balti has the best armor piercing for a cruiser at Tier 7. It ain't close. It's not close. The next best, I would say, in my opinion, would be the Charles Martel. Charles Martel is very slept on with its armor piercing. Most people just do not understand how good that ship is with armor piercing. Yes, it's a fire spammer most of the time, but I'm telling you, you give that thing a broadside, it will ruin you. And with the reload booster, good lord, good luck. Now, with all of that being said, we're back in the Balti, right? Unfortunately, we don't have any spotting. We're hoping that the Colorado fires his guns again so that we can continue doing what we do, and of course he does. So we're going to fire the guns out there, and again, we're just biding our time initially. Look at the Atlantico's health right now. Atlantico has really, really gotten himself into a lot of trouble. He put himself in a bad position. He's gotten himself yeeted. He's lost a lot of hit points. We're getting some solid damage out against the Colorado here. Between us and the Edinburgh. Edinburgh's firing AP. We're going to go ahead and switch over to some HE, try to burn him down a little bit, get some of that damage over time that we know and love. And you can see the HE is just as nasty and, of course, will set fires. So it doesn't matter what round you fire out of the Balti, but more often than not in the Balti, you want to set the fires and then switch to AP, if you can get away with it. Now, this Mogami, this boy, he not the brightest in the world. Now, because of this, watch what I do here. Like, I'm gonna pull out, I'm gonna be like, hey, Mother Trucker, you are picking the wrong fight. You cannot pull out broadside. He gets lucky the first time. He gets angled just enough that he doesn't get yeeted in the first salvo, because this thing will absolutely depth strike a Mogami. But Mogami, he does the right thing. He goes bow in. We farm that superstructure with some AP. I'm still expecting him to make a stupid move to try to torp me here. And to his credit, he's not. But he's also not firing armor piercing, so I go ahead and completely disregard him so that I can get my turrets around and finish off the Atlantico, because the last thing I need is 252 millimeter high explosive rounds tearing my ship apart from point blank. Alright? But this also allows us not to go full broadside again, because we're expecting potentially some armor piercing. Again, a beautiful shot into the superstructure of that Mogami. Just nasty AP. But, again, we're going to get saturated. We're not going to be able to farm that superstructure forever. Probably should have loaded some armor, or some high explosives, but I also thought maybe we could break his turrets here, because, again, super heavy, or heavy armor piercing out of the Balti is pretty disgusting. But he's going to get quite a bit of damage on us just due to the fact that I leave him alive for too long. I definitely, if I'd known he was going to stay full bow in here, I would have switched to HE, and just gotten rid of him. But you can see we're not able to hit the superstructure there. He actually loads AP. He gets a Citadel on us. More power to you, buddy. But he's opening up the angle. He actually baits me in there. Once again, he's actually not doing a terrible job here. He's lasted longer than 99% of the Mogamis I've ever faced in the Balti. Mainly because they do what he's about to do right now, which is commit to the torpedoes, and that's all the room I need. As soon as you open up the angle against a Balti and a cruiser, you are dead. It does not take more than one or maybe two. If you get lucky, you survive the first salvo from a Balti at this range. But you can almost guarantee that the Balti is going to dev strike any cruiser that opens up the angle at this range. Even the Hipper, everybody will be like, well, the Hipper's got turtleback. The Balti will Citadel a Hipper inside 10 kilometers. I promise you, I've done it many a times. So do not play games with the Balti. That being said, notice what we're going here. I know there's a destroyer on my left, but we also know he just fired his torpedoes, and I want him to sit there. I want him to think he's got a chance to get us. So we're going to start blind firing the Boise over the top of the island, and we're going to punch him right in the mouth. Another Citadel there, and we're going to go ahead and take the shot. He actually goes in to bow tank us, and then does the unthinkable. Look at these torpedoes. So predictable. So predictable, man. But he's going to do the unthinkable and just go, kill me now. And I'm like, okay, if you insist. Like, you can't do this. I don't care what ship you're in, let alone a tier 6 light cruiser. You go broadside to a Balti at these ranges, you're done. You're done. I don't care how much hit points you have. Now look, already switched over to the HE. What am I going to do here, folks? I'm going after the destroyer, right? It's obvious. He's smoked up. He thinks he's safe. He's going to try to protect the cap here. We're trying to get around the island. Fired the shells just a little too soon. Didn't quite clear the end. I thought we could get the front guns around the island. A little bit rushed for no reason. I could have just waited. Now here he's turning towards us, and we get the worst RNG ever. Actually didn't quite lead him enough, and they all fell off to the right. So unfortunate. But you're only gonna live so long. Like, you're inside radar range. You're done, right? You chose to rush out of your smoke. I don't even have a hydro, so if he'd have stayed in his smoke, there's a chance he survives this, and then it would be a problem. But he gets very lucky to not just be finished there. Of course, you know, Spartan, leave him with just enough to get away. That's the way it works, right? But unfortunately for him, I do reload very quickly, and we're going to finish him off. And that's when we spot the Colorado. Now remember, Balti has a 27mm bow. And that means that the Balti is fully capable of bow tanking 15-inch guns and below. Unfortunately, Colorado has 16-inch guns, which means he overmatches us, which means we have to get creative. Which means I'm going to try to beach. I'm going to open up the angle and pray to God that he manages to hit my like, side plating, thinking he can Citadel me, and, we bounce off the round. That was my thought process here. Unfortunately, didn't quite work out the way I thought it was going to, but we do manage to take him out and pick up the Kraken with 102,000 damage and getting away with, for once, it happened to me, just enough to get away. 90 hit points. Good Lord. Can you get much lower than that? And the answer is yes, of course. I have 89 hit points more than what I need to survive the match, right? But here is the problem. We're going to try to capture the base. We've already captured one base. We got an assist cap there. We've got the Kraken. We've got the high cow. We're in the center cap. Getting the solo cap here is going to be a huge XP boost. 22 seconds. All we got to do is stay stay hidden, and we will be fine. There's one ship that hasn't been spotted yet. The destroyer has been spotted multiple times, and I know the destroyer is likely off to my right, and I was expecting to get spotted here. And I was also expecting him to fire his guns. Now you can see the plane is there to remind us of us killing the Colorado and picking up the Kraken with 90 hit points. But here, you knew this was going to happen. As soon as he sees that I have no health, he's like, I got to take this shot, get rid of this Balti, that I may have a chance of pulling something special off. Unfortunately for him, he gets a fire, and I am too quick for him. I hit that freaking damage con so fast that the game didn't even register a single tick of damage from that fire. That is like somebody was on the deck with a fire extinguisher going, there's an HE round coming, boys, get ready. Hold. Fire the fire extinguishers. Now here, I'm not going to lie, I should have absolutely fired the shot. I saw the range, and I should have just taken the shot because I could have gotten a little bit more damage. You know that guy is AFK. This is the first time he's been spotted the entire game. He's AFK. So what I should have done is just fired the guns at this point. But you can see our Fletcher is turning back out, so I'm like, okay, we're going to get a chance to neuter this guy. Unfortunately, we have a battleship there that's ready to neuter him as well. Now remember that black that we saw a moment ago? What is the unique thing about a black? Other than the fact that it has the radar, it has something very unique about it. It has long-range, extremely slow torpedoes. Now, our battleship shells managed to get there and neuter the Weimar, but fortunately for us, he leaves him alive. We get a Citadel on the Weimar, and we take another shot before anybody can finish him off, and that gives us our 6th kill of the game, picking up the 6-pack, showing that the Balti still got it. And then I turn out thinking, okay, I just gotta, oh my god, not like this! I just wanted to survive! What are the odds? The timing on that turn is so bad. Had I not doubled back, I would have been completely fine and survived the match. But nope, I'm like, I gotta turn away from this destroyer so that I survive the match. And unfortunately, I turned right into his torpedoes. God darn it, the slowest sea mines once again catch me off guard. I'm telling you, it's the slowest torps that get me. Because I forget about them, but 3,800 base XP, 6 kills, top of the leaderboard. It doesn't get much better than that. Balti is still king of the cruisers. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.